إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أشهد أن أمير المؤمنين وإمام المتقين عليا ولي الله وصي رسول الله وخليفته بلا فصل أشهد أن مولانا أمير المؤمنين عليا مولاد المعصومين بالحق حجج الله صلوات الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله اللهم اجعل قلبي اللهم اجعل عندك قبر نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم مستقرا وقرارا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي لا يبلغ مدحته القائلون ولا يوصينا معه العادون ولا يودي حقه المجتهدون الذي لا يدركه بهد الهمم ولا يناله غوث الفتن الذي ليس لصفته حد محدود ولا نعت موجود ولا وقت محدود ولا أجل ممدود فترى الخلائق بقدرته ونشر الرياح برحمته ووتد بالسخر ما يدعن عرض ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وحبيبنا وحبيب رب العالمين أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعن على أدائهم أجمعين من أول يوم ظلمهم إلى قيام يوم الدين أما بعد فقال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه المبين وقوله الحق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وورث سليمان داود وقال يا أيها الناس علمنا منطق الطير وأوتينا من كل شيء إن هذا لهو فضل المبين صدق الله العلي العظيم. Dear brothers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, in the 10-15 minutes that I do have, what I want to talk about, because these lectures that we're doing in these nights, we're talking about Lady Zahra salawatullahi alaiha, and one of the topics that comes up is what Lady Zahra salawatullahi alaiha, she said in her sermon, or the reason she went to Masjid al-Nabawi and gave a sermon in front of all of the people, which is known as Khutbat al-Fadaq. And what was that khutbah about? It was, the ulama, they said that khutbah was about Lady Zahra asking for her right, asking for her inheritance. And as we all know, Abu Bakr, he had taken the land of Fadaq from Lady Zahra salawatullahi alaiha, using one argument or one hadith of the Holy Prophet, and he had basically said that I heard the Holy Prophet say that we prophets do not leave anything behind as inheritance. Whatever we leave behind is to be given as charity. He used this hadith, and Lady Zahra salawatullahi alaiha, she replies that in the sermon she replies that, was there a verse of the Quran that was revealed to you that was not revealed to my father? Is it you who's a prophet, or was it my father that's a prophet? Is it you who knows the Quran better than my father? Alaykum salam wa rahmatullah. Is it you that knows the Quran better than my father or my cousin? Ali alayhi salam. So when it comes to inheritance, Lady Zahra, she went and she asked for Fadaq. Why? Because she claimed that it is her right, it is her inheritance. And as I said, Abu Bakr, he rejected that. And to this day, the majority of the school of thought, they say Abu Bakr, the rejection of Abu Bakr was in line with the sunnah of the Holy Prophet, meaning that there was a hadith that he used, and he said, because of this hadith, I'm not going to do anything that is contrary to what the Holy Prophet did, which is odd, in the sense that the Holy Prophet in his own lifetime gave that land, not just Shia sources, but Sunni sources. In the lifetime of the Holy Prophet, he gave that land to Lady Zahra salawatullahi alaiha. And Abu Bakr, he claimed that I don't want to do anything contrary to the Holy Prophet. When he took that land, was that not contrary to what the Holy Prophet did? Yes, that was contrary. And Lady Zahra, she replies, but what I want to talk about is inheritance. The verse that I chose as my topic for this khutbah is what? The verse of the Quran that Lady Zahra herself, she puts forth to Abu Bakr. And what is that verse? وَوَرِثَ سُلَيْمَانَ دَاوُودَ. And Hazrat Sulaiman, he inherited from Hazrat Dawood. Hazrat Sulaiman is prophet. Hazrat Dawood is his father, who is also a prophet. The verse of the Quran, both of them are prophets. The Quranic verse specifically says that Hazrat Sulaiman, he inherited from his prophet father. And Abu Bakr has brought a hadith that says what? That prophets do not leave anything behind as inheritance. When the hadith is contradicting the Quran, what is the job of the Muslims? To take the hadith or to take the Quran? To accept the hadith or to accept the Quran? To accept the Quran. Why? Because hadith, they can be made up. But the Quran is there until the end of time. Yes, the interpretation, someone can interpret the verse of the Quran differently. And this is exactly what's happened 1400 years after that incident. To this day, there are many Muslims that believe over here, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about Hazrat Sulaiman being the waris or inheritor of Hazrat Dawood, they're saying that Hazrat Sulaiman, he inherited the knowledge of Hazrat Dawood. He inherited prophethood from Hazrat Dawood. The majority of Muslims. But when you look at their books of tafsir, for example, Tafsir Kashaf, when you look at these tafsir, these mufassirin, they have separated both of those types of warasat. Meaning warasat in terms of prophethood, there's different, and warasat in terms of king for Hazrat Sulaiman. They say that Hazrat Sulaiman inherited warasat in terms of prophethood and knowledge, and also warasat in terms of the kingdom. Meaning what? Over here, warasat is not just something tangible, not just something physical, but it's also something immaterial. Prophethood is immaterial. The kingdom of Hazrat Dawood is material. So the ulama, the Sunni ulama, they themselves, they say, no, both of these types of warasat Hazrat Sulaiman inherited. And what is it that Hazrat Sulaiman inherited? When you look at the tafsir, the mufassirin, they say that Hazrat Sulaiman, Hazrat Dawood, he had about 1,000 horses that he had gotten from a battle. And these 1,000 horses is what Hazrat Sulaiman inherited. If prophets do not leave any material things as inheritance, then why is Hazrat Sulaiman getting these 1,000 horses? This is what Lady Zahra would wanted to tell everyone that was there, not just Abu Bakr. No, everyone that was there. She specifically looks at the Ansar and she says, why are you not helping me now for my right, when it was you all that stood with my father? Because what had happened when it came to Saqifa, the Muhajirin, they said what? They said, look, the Khilafat should belong with the Muhajirin from the Quraysh. Why? The Holy Prophet, he was from the Quraysh. And they told the Ansar, if you follow us, we will give you positions in our government. We will give you positions in our government. That was the argument that was used. Abu Bakr, Umar in Saqifa, that's the argument that he used, and he said, we'll give you positions. And that's exactly what happened. When Khilafat was taken away from Amir al-Mu'mineen, they gave them positions. Abu Bakr, Umar, they gave the Ansar positions. And because of that, they stayed quiet. Because of that, they did not rise up against what was happening to Lady Zahra. But in terms of wirasat, one, first and foremost, warasat, inheritance, is that something given in the lifetime of someone, or is that something given after they've passed away? Warasat is given after this person, meaning what? If I have kids, as long as I'm alive, do my kids inherit something from me? No. But after I've passed away, that's when they inherit. That's when they inherit. The Sunnis today, they say what? Hazrat Sulaiman, he inherited prophethood from Hazrat Dawood. If inheritance is something that is given after the father passes away, the parents pass away, prophethood, this ukhda is given when? As soon as this Nabi comes to this world. This Nabi, he comes to this world with this ukhda. The Prophet, he comes to this world with prophethood. So then how can prophethood be inherited? When we've already agreed that inheritance is given after they pass away. Was prophethood given to Hazrat Sulaiman after Hazrat Dawood passed away? No. Hazrat Dawood was prophet, Hazrat Sulaiman was also prophet. But what does that mean? What does that mean? That means what? As long as Hazrat Dawood was still alive, Hazrat Sulaiman was not allowed to speak. Meaning what? Meaning Hazrat Harun alayhi salam, he was also prophet. Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, he was also prophet. As long as Hazrat Musa alayhi salam was alive, everything was under Hazrat Musa alayhi salam's control. Yes or no? The same way, as long as Hazrat Dawood was alive, he had kingdom in his hand, Hazrat Sulaiman did not speak. Did not speak. Prophethood was already given to both of them. So what was it that was inherited from Hazrat Sulaiman? It couldn't have been prophethood because, like I said, prophets, they're sent as prophets. So it was this materialistic kingdom, this material kingdom that Hazrat Sulaiman inherited. And Abu Bakr, he says, I heard from the Holy Prophet that we prophets do not leave anything as inheritance. When the Quran itself, it says no. Prophets leave inheritance. And that inheritance is not just immaterial. That inheritance is also material. And Lady Zahra, this is one of the verses she uses. Well, what is the Sulaiman Dawuda? And when she says this, what happens? The people that were there, even after the sermon was finished, Lady Zahra, what did she say? She says, even though I've given all of these proofs about my inheritance, I know that none of you will stand up and ask this person for my right back. I know none of you will stand up. And that's exactly what happened. They came to Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam and they, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Imam, he says, at that time, there were only a handful of people that rose and they were telling them to give back the right of Lady Zahra. And he names them. He says Salman was one of them. Abu Zar was one of them. Miqdad was one of them. Those companions that we claim to be the Shias of Amir al-Mu'mineen, those were the 7, 8, 9, 10 companions that told the rest to give the right of Lady Zahra back to her. But it never happened. But was it really Fadak that Lady Zahra was asking for? When you read the sermon, inshallah that's what we'll go over tonight. When you read the sermon, you see that Lady Zahra, she's asking not just for Fadak. Fadak was an excuse. In reality, Fadak was an excuse. For what? For the wilayat of Amir al-Mu'mineen. For the khilafat of Amir al-Mu'mineen. And when you look at Sharh Nahj Balagha by Ibn Abil Hadid, he says he asked his own instructor, why was it that Abu Bakr didn't give Fadak back? Sunni scholar. Why was it that Abu Bakr didn't give Fadak back? And he says, my teacher told me, look, if today Abu Bakr was to accept Lady Zahra's words to be true and give Fadak back, tomorrow if she was to claim Amir al-Mu'mineen's Khilafat, what would he say? What would he say? That's the reason. And many scholars or majority of Muslims, they don't understand that. Why? Because their scholars have hidden this. And Ibn Abil Hadith, he himself, he says, if her claim was true, and her claim was definitely true. Why? Because he himself, he says that, Innama yuridullah ayatul tathir, she was part of ayatul tathir. Abu Bakr was not part of ayatul tathir. Yes, they claim, the Sunnis, they claim that the wives of the Holy Prophet were part of ayatul tathir. That's not the debate here. But we all know for a fact that Lady Zahra was part of ayatul tathir and Abu Bakr was not part of it. When Abu Bakr wasn't part of it, and Lady Zahra was part of it, that means that Lady Zahra would not lie or would not claim something that is false. But it's highly probable that Abu Bakr, because he's not part of Ayatul Tathir, it's highly probable that he would do something that is contrary to what? To Islam. He wasn't cleansed of rijs, but Lady Zahra was. And the Sunni scholars themselves, when they do the tafsir of rijs, what do they say? Rijs is not just physical impurity. Rijs is also spiritual impurity. And lying is a spiritual impurity. Lying is a spiritual impurity. So Lady Zahra, she was completely cleansed from lying. And I don't have a lot of time, but if you look at what happened to Lady Zahra, the tragedy that happened to Lady Zahra, like I said last night, the angel of death was knocking on that door to get permission to come in. And that same door was kicked down, and Lady Zahra was stuck behind the wall in the door, to the point where what? her son Mohsin was shaheed. The first shaheed in the wilayat of Amir al-Mu'mineen al-Islam is Mohsin. The first shaheeda, Lady Zahra salawatullahi alayha. And people don't understand that. And people don't understand what the significance is of Lady Zahra's shahadat. What do I mean? Imam Muhammad Baqir, Imam Jafar Sadiq, all the way to the 11th Imam. Imam Muhammad Baqir, he was 5 years old when Karbala happened. When they returned from Karbala, he doesn't say to Imam Zainul Abidin, "Oh Father, when will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us permission to take revenge upon what happened to Abu Abdullah Hussain alayhi salam?" No. All of them, they used to say to their fathers, he said, Imam Muhammad Baqir, he said, "Oh Father dear, when will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us permission to take revenge for what happened to Lady Zahra salawatullahi alayha?" What happened to Lady Zahra? Why is it that the Imam who lived to see his grandfather get martyred in the sands of Karbala, he doesn't say, when will I be given permission to take revenge on that? No. He says, when will I be given permission to take revenge on what happened to Lady Zahra? Why? Because the Imam himself, he knows that it's what happened to Lady Zahra that set the stage for Karbala. If the Ansar had stood up, then Karbala would not have happened. If those people that claim to be companions of the Holy Prophet, if they stood up at that time for the right of Lady Zahra, then nothing after that would have happened. You think Siffin would have happened? No. You think Jamal would have happened? No. None of that would have happened. But it's because they all stayed quiet. You see, Islam turned into what it is today. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He hastens the reappearance of Imam Zaman, so Islam could, so then Islam can be at the state that it needs to be at. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي لا يبلغ مدحته القائلون ولا يسينا معه العدون ولا يودي حقه المجتهدون الذي لا يدركه بحد الهمم ولا يناله غوث الفتن الذي ليس لصفته حد محدود ولا نات موجود ولا وقت محدود ولا أجل ممدود فترى الخلائق بقدرته ونشر الرياح برحمته ووتد بالسخر ميدان أرض ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وحبيبنا وحبيب رب العالمين أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على نبينا محمد وآله وإمام المسلمين أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب وعلى سيدة النساء العالمين فاطمة الزهراء صلوات الله عليها وعلى سيد الشباب أهل الجنة الحسن والحسين عليهما السلام اللهم صل على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي اللهم صل على مولانا حجة بن الحسن صاحب العصر والزمان اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرزك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا. الله
يا ذا الجلال والإكرام والتكريم والدنيا والآخرة اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. اللهم صل على محمد. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. اللهم صل على محمد. أشهد أن أمير المؤمنين وإمام المتقين عليه حجة الله. أشهد أن أمير المؤمنين وإمام المتقين عليه حجة الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. الله أكبر. أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. الله أكبر. بحول الله وقوته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله أكبر. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. لا إله إلا الحليم الكريم. لا إله إلا العلي العظيم. سبحان الله رب السماوات السبع ورب الأرضين السبع وما فيهن وما بينهن ورب العرش العظيم والحمد لله رب العالمين. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. الله أكبر. أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. الله أكبر. الحمد لله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. بحول الله. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. بحول الله. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. الله أكبر. أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. يا ولي الآخرة والآخرة وتسليم الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما.
السلام عليك يا رسول الله. السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا صديقة فاطمة الزهراء سيد النساء العالمين. السلام عليك يا مولانا يا حسن المصطفى. السلام عليك يا مولانا يا خليل القربى يا أبا عبد الله. السلام عليك يا مولانا يا علي بن الحسين. السلام عليك يا مولانا يا محمد بن علي. السلام عليك يا مولانا يا جعفر بن محمد. السلام عليك يا مولانا يا موسى بن جعفر. السلام عليك يا مولانا علي بن موسى. السلام عليك يا مولانا يا محمد بن علي. السلام عليك يا مولانا يا علي بن محمد. السلام عليك يا مولانا يا حسن بن علي. السلام عليك يا مولانا يا صاحب العصر الزمان. الأمان 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 من الفتن الزمان. أجر الله تعالى فرجك وزورك وجعلنا من أنصارك ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Muslims